Welcome to the Around the Ballpark podcast. This is our 2025 summer movie preview series, and tonight we are going to discuss our one and only Netflix movie that we are covering this summer, which is called Happy Gilmore Part 2. This is a movie that is long overdue if you're a big fan of the original movie, and so we're going to dive into that. But before we do, a few words from our sponsors over at Nashville Tax Solutions.
Attention, Fort Pierce and Palm Bay. Are you struggling with tax issues? Whether you're behind on filings, you're dealing with a lien, or you just need expert guidance, Nashville Tax Solutions is here to help. Their team knows the ins, the outs of tax relief, and is ready to fight for you. But don't just take my word for it. Listen to their clients. Chris Bennett and his team saved me from a financial nightmare. They're knowledgeable, clear, and compassionate. So don't let tax troubles keep you up at night. Call 855-627-4829. Visit NashvilleTaxSolutions.com or email info@NashvilleTaxSolutions.com today. Nashville Tax Solutions, because tax problems deserve real solutions.
Thank you, Darren. So, all right, honesty here. There's only two of us in the room. Happy Gilmore 2. You saw the preview for the first time. What you thought it might be, what it could be. What was your first thought that popped into your brain?
Listen, I will never, ever lie to you unless I want to. No, I'll tell you the truth. In my head, I was like, ooh, can't wait. I saw that, trailer. Horrible. I'm afraid. I'm very afraid. Listen, did you ever see the movie Caddyshack?
Yes.
Wonderful. Funny, this and that. You ever see Caddyshack 2?
Didn't know there was a Caddyshack 2.
And there was, and it was horrible.
Okay.
I think that there'll be Adam Sandler knows how to touch the heartstrings. There'll be a little bit of that, but this looks like really bad. I mean, this looks really bad.
I didn't laugh one time in that trailer,
No.
and I really wanted to. Like, I really, really did. So to me, I mean, just from what I've seen. This photo here, 100 worst movies of all time. I don't know if you guys remember. Looks pretty bad there. A nice little photo. I believe they're going to be making an edit to this on their tomato meter website for Rotten Tomatoes. But I think they're going to have to edit this to 101 worst movies of all time. It could be that bad, unfortunately. It's very excited. I'm still going to see it. I'm still going to watch it at home, but I'm glad that I can do it in the comfort of my own home.
Did you see, like, for example, seriously, what I thought of is, again, Netflix. Did you see the Beverly Hills Cop that Eddie Murphy did last year?
No, I didn't see that one.
I have a feeling that this is what it's going to be like.
It's going to be that, yeah.
You see everybody, but why?
Yeah, this should have been, so a lot of the things when we talk about these movies, one of the things that I'll do, guys, is I'll give a synopsis of the movie, and then we'll talk about it. And this is the official synopsis for Happy Gilmore 2. Revisit Happy Gilmore's golf career after his win in the Tour Championship. That's it. That's what we get. You watch the trailer, and it's just the jokes don't land.
No, and we literally heard them before.
Yeah.
And we're gonna again the hand that comes off. I mean, stop. Yeah.
So I'm giving this movie a thumbs down already. In our panel's review, numbers came in pretty low as well here. Not a lot of expectation going into it for this movie, unfortunately. So
okay, let me ask you this, because I don't know you have a compiler. So we have 4 people on our crack committee, right?
Yes.
All right, let me ask you this. Based upon the scores of the 4 of us, if you were playing blackjack, could you take a hit?
This is where I would take a hit and I would get a king and I would go over. But yes, I think combined, you could still get a 9 and get blackjack. I think.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. I think that's where we're at here. So we only get a few minutes on these. And so bottom line, kid folks, I'm not going to draw it out. If you go on TikTok or, social media, a lot of it, you're just trying to scroll up to the next one. bottom line, this movie bad, but we're going to take the next few minutes and talk about good, and that was the original Happy Gilmore. So
Oh, it was great. Great.
used to talk about some fun things. So how can we not talk quickly about uh, Bob Barker's famous line in the original movie? The fight scene that they did was remarkable. Just share a little bit about that so those that got, because I'm sure everyone's seen this movie, but just what that scene meant to you, or just what you remember from that, because it was awesome.
So, is it any truth to the rumor that the name of this movie was almost Happy Gilmore? Happy Gilmore. No, Happy Gilmore makes a number 2. Was that what this was?
It was. It was almost on the table. Yeah.
Right, but a good thing they pulled that off, because that would actually be funnier than the movie. No, the original was brilliant. Bob Barker scene, just the young Happy Gilmore, Adam Sandler, and Bob Barker, and you don't expect him to be a fighter, much less chirper like he does. It's great. I love that scene.
Loved it. Loved the beginning. I loved the Chubb's backstory with the alligator biting his hand off, and the jar with the alligator's eye. I actually had a close friend that's on my softball team. Went on a mini vacation to Orlando, did the Disney thing. Just got home tonight and to an alligator on their front lawn. Just hanging. So they had to call and get it. Yeah, it's happening more and more. Crazy. I don't know.
No, it's crazy. Listen. They've been doing a wonderful job trying to keep them alive, and this is what happens. It's
and true thing. And then it has nothing to do with this movie, but a lot of people down here are painting the bottom because it's so hot. They're painting the bottoms of their pool like a dark black color to try to keep the temperature, the water, and all that kind of stuff. So if you're going to do that, which is fine to do, you got to have to make sure you check in the water before you go in, because I've heard story after story of these alligators and other large creatures getting right into the pool, and you can't see it, and next thing you know, something bad could happen. So,
seriously, that's scary, because when you were at my house in California, we had a dark pool, but no alligators, which was great. No crocodiles, no nothing, which was good.
Yeah.
But that would scare me. Let me ask you this: your favorite Adam Sandler movie of all time?
So many good ones. I mean, really, there's a lot of duds. Like I think of Little Nicky. I think it was right. It was a dud
terrible.
In terms of just terrible. So it's kind of like what's his name from Nutty Professor? Like he's Eddie Murphy. Like here and here. Like there's no in between. They're just bad or they're really good. So I'm a Billy Madison guy. So
that's mine.
Go with Billy Madison. I mean,
agreed.
I would love to see. I don't need to see a new Billy Madison, but if there was such a thing as an extended cut of the original where you got to see more of each grade, that would be kind of cool.
I'd love. Listen, the scene when he's playing dodgeball is just the best.
Yes. So to me, that's the answer. I think other good ones along the way. Of course, you had Grown Ups, Big Daddy, and
Big Daddy was actually pretty good. The Grown Ups was good. What was the one where he played the football player? That was good.
Oh yeah, the football, that one.
Yeah, but there's been a lot of ones there that aren't as good. That's a nice way to put it, right? I'm trying to assume goodwill. I had a good friend of mine teach me that. Assume goodwill at all times. But Happy Gilmore 2 might surprise us. That might have said, you know what? We're going to put all the unfunny stuff in the trailer.
Yes, maybe that was their strategy. They were just gonna, But unfortunately, guys, watch this movie because you're gonna watch it from your couch, and if you don't like it, you can change the channel or put something else on. But give it a try. Harry House nostalgia for a few minutes. I feel like that's after about 35 minutes. I'm gonna be like, okay, it's time to move.
Time to go. Right.
Yeah. Definitely, unfortunately. But my final question has nothing to do with the movie, but just in general, we're talking about Adam Sandler here, comedian. So who is your number one, like, if you can see someone stand-up comedy live, who would that be?
So I've seen...
And it could be someone, again, if you've seen them before.
So right now, I forget his name. I've seen a lot of people. Funny is, let's put it this way. Let me unpack it this way. I'm a huge Jerry Seinfeld fan. He's still funny. I love it. Love everything he does. Funniest person I've ever seen live in concert was Howie Mandel. was incredible. But what's the name of the guy with the puppets? Jeff, whatever, I forget.
Oh, Dunham, Jeff Dunham.
Jeff Dunham. I saw him in concert with my wife. Best I've ever seen.
Really? Yeah. So, for me, there's been same thing. I've seen there's some like under the radar really good ones. There's some really good Christian comedians. If you ever get a chance, check out John Christ and check out Johnny W. Tremendous, hilarious. Johnny W. does a whole minute and a half bit about what it's like to work in the children's nursery at church, and it's gold. But for me, stand-up comedian-wise, I've seen him once before. He's part of one of my favorite shows of all time, and that's got to be Kevin James.
Oh yeah,
from start to finish, just even if you know the jokes are coming, it's so good. So,
but you got to say, you and I mean, he's us, right? He's how we grew up, Queens, Brooklyn. He's who we were.
Mets, how many Brooklyn Cyclone shirts made the episodes? Just the dynamic with Arthur and Spence and just the whole gang. It was so good. Well,
let me ask you this, because you're also a Seinfeld fan. What's his name? Who played his in-law? His father-in-law. He basically played the same. He played the same character on Seinfeld and on Kevin James's show, didn't he?
Yes. Yeah.
He pretty much
the same exact. Yeah.
Which is great, and we loved it. We loved every minute. I'm just gonna yell.
Yeah, we actually have in our children's ministry, we had a girl named Serenity, and so I Serenity now. I know the family, so I can get away with that. But so good, such a good franchise, and I love. I bring that up too because we're talking about Adam Sandler, so there is a tie-in here, folks. But Adam Sandler guest starred in an episode of King of Queens where they were going to the high school reunion, and now all of a sudden Adam Sandler was the assistant principal, and the principal was torturing him, and so they decided they're going to go egg his house, and he goes off the deep end and loses it and gets arrested and breaks free of the cop car, and Kevin James, see you later, see you at the next reunion, But that was gold to see them together for the one episode.
Well, let me share with you, and you might have seen this TikTok of it real quick, because then we have to go. We're short on time. This is who Adam Sandler is. Did you ever see the TikTok video, or maybe somewhere else, where he talks about a teacher he had who, in college, who took him out for a beer one day and sat him down and told him, "You're not going to make it. You're not going to make it as an actor or as a comedian." Right? And then 10, 15 years later, he's made it big. And Adam Sandler is with, and I get goosebumps telling this, because to me, this is something that you'd probably want to tell in church. And because I tell the story. And when I find a video, I share. A group of his friends were with him. And he sees that same teacher. He walks up to him. And he introduces him this way. "Hey, everybody, this is Mr. So-and-so. Out of all the teachers I ever had, he's the only one that bought me a beer." But isn't it wonderful and beautiful? Yeah, because it's true.
Right.
He goes, "Why bring up negatives? Like always find something positive." And it was true. He said he's the only one that ever bought me a beer. That's who Adam Sandler is, by the way, which is great. I love that story.
And he has a very similar story, sort of to the extent of Steve Harvey as well. With Steve Harvey, same situation, was told, in school, basically, "I want to be a comedian." The teacher straight up told him, like, this isn't for you, like basically laughed in his face. And then fast forward, and he's very successful doing what he's doing. So,
well, again, I know we're going to go, but we're talking about comedians now. Ever tell you my Chris Rock story?
No.
Did you know I went to class with Chris Rock at James and Madison High School?
I did not.
No, yeah. So what happened was, I knew him ancillary, like the guy in the fourth row, I'm in the third row, whatever. And we had some mutual friends. So this is why people watch what you see in the newspapers and whatnot. He's made it big. He actually never graduated. Why? Because he got the job on Saturday Night Live, and then he graduated later and whatever. So I get a call from the New York Times, and they want to do a story on him. What was he like? Wonderful. What was it? He didn't graduate. Yeah, he didn't graduate because he got the job on Saturday Night Live. This guy was a hard worker.
Right, who wouldn't take that role? Right, exactly.
And just what I'm saying is, it's all an interpretation. These people work hard at their crafts, man, and people tell them this, that, or the other thing. They work hard, and what a blessing. Yeah, look it up. James Madison High School.
Okay, yeah, definitely do that. Thank you for sharing that story, and thank you guys for watching along this episode. We will be right back here tomorrow. We will be talking about, in my opinion, the movie that I'm most excited for this summer, which is Jurassic Park. We're going to talk about Jurassic World.
Oh, I cannot wait.
That's going to be tomorrow. And the next day right after that is Superman. So some good stuff coming your way. So until next time, we will see you around the ballpark. Bye, guys.